John Eats Cheap, gonna try and recreate something today. Something that I loved as a kid. I had two favorite soups when I was a kid. Campbell's beef with vegetables and barley. Believe me, that's the only way I got my vegetables. And also their Manhattan clam chowder, not the creamy New England. This is a tomato-based Manhattan clam chowder. I haven't seen it in years. I haven't had it in years, so I'm just gonna try and recreate it here using celery, carrots, potatoes, diced tomatoes, and clams. So let's get started. Start out a little bit of olive oil. Now I'm just making a very small batch of this, but I'm gonna get our chopped up celery and carrots in there. And yeah, I'm not measuring. Got a little tomato paste there I pulled out of the freezer. We're gonna add that a little bit later. So I'm just gonna get these softened up just a little bit in the olive oil. So those cooked, softened up for a couple of minutes. I got a couple of small Yukon Gold potatoes, diced up pretty small. I want it to be just like the soup was. So I'm gonna add those in, stir them up. And I've got about a cup and a half of seafood stock here. Now you can buy a bottle of, clam juice, but I didn't want to pay. That's like $2 or $3, $4. I didn't want to pay that when I have this. This is better than bouillon seafood stock. Always have it on hand, so I'm going to use that. So that's what I had. So I just kind of want to cover the potatoes, just about like that. Got a little left in the bottom.
I was going to say.
Want all that flavor. All right, so we're going to bring this to a boil and just let it simmer covered for about 10-15 minutes. And that'll thicken up because it'll pull the starch out of those taters. All right, so there we go. It smells seafoody. I'm liking that. We're going to go in with a can of diced tomatoes, as well as a tablespoon of tomato paste. Give it a little more deep flavor, thicken it up a little bit. And I haven't decided if I'm going to do 1 or 2 cans of clams. This one is minced, so I'm just going to add the liquid first. Or most of the liquid, because we're going to let that stew. I think we're going to need the other can. Better add that as well. These are the bigger whole baby clams. So I'm just going to pour the liquid off of there. So there's a lot of clam juice in those. All right, so I'm just going to let this stew for a little bit. Let all those flavors meld, then we'll check it for seasoning. That's been simmering about 20-25 minutes, and I'm not going to lie, that looks just like the one I used to love. I'm just going to do a little taste for seasoning. Wow, I don't know that it needs anything. I kind of like that. Well, it was the basil, garlic, and something else tomatoes. They had kind of like the Italian ones. I had my Italian seasoning ready, but I don't think I'm going to add it. So I think I'm just going to dump these clams in here. And of course, they don't have to cook. They're just going in. All of you in there. Now the baby clams. And there we go. That is a clammy chowder, which is okay by me. A couple days worth of lunch there. I'm just going to let it simmer on low until we're ready to eat. So there it is, homemade Manhattan clam chowder. Have not had this since I was a kid. Like I said, it's not really a chowder. It's more of a, it's a broth, not a thick stew-like thing.
I don't think I've ever had Manhattan.
Really? Oh, grew up on it and ready to try it again. Try and get a little bit of everything here. And very hot. The suspense is killing me. I think it could use a little salt, but other than that, and I forgot it wasn't a pre-made soup, so even though there's salt in the better than bouillon, I'm sure, it could use a little. There's potatoes and veggies in there, and I didn't season those, but I'm ready for some crusty bread or crackers and relive my childhood. Thanks for watching John Eats Cheap. Follow us on TikTok too, also Facebook and Instagram. Give us a thumbs up, a share, and a follow. Thanks for watching.